guys, and welcome to the Massive Network. We've got a few pieces of news on Deep Down. And if you want more people to hear about this really cool game, press the like button below. Anyway, the news we have on Deep Down is big. It's short and sweet, but it's big. Here it is. Capcom's Deep Down, which is to be a PS4 exclusive, is free to play. That's right, you don't have to go out and buy a copy of Deep Down. You just download it to your PS4 and play. Now, being free to play, there's a few different ways they can go about this. Naturally, I'm hoping they go, please, Capcom, go CCP Dust 514's free to play game route. But who am I kidding? This is modern age Capcom. I'm sure there's going to be some bullshit hidden in there somewhere. Same as when Street Fighter 4 Super Something Edition was released, they had all kinds of costumes on the disc itself. So they could have given them for free, but they charged them for you later. I'm worried the game is going to be filled with all kinds of optional but necessary purchases. Now, I assume that they would have all kinds of little tiny add-ons and expansion packs, like new weapons or something, or new armor, or new quests, which new quests I would be fine with paying for, on top of the $60 game, but now it's got me fearing a ton of microtransactions. Necessary, almost, not microtransactions that really further you in the game, which would be really unfortunate. On the bright side, this means that hopefully new quests and new enemies and stuff like that should be free for the most part, unless it's a big revamp expansion. But I've got a feeling that this era of free-to-play games on the consoles, that'll be really odd. Just wait. We are only scraping the tip of the free-to-play era. In the future, you'll be able to get items in Deep Down or in a free-to-play console game by buying Big Macs at McDonald's. They'll have some tie-in where if you buy a certain number of Big Macs, you get some Big Mac sword in the shape of the McDonald's logo. You know, a bunch of tie-ins, that's what I see. Not only product purchases, but like sponsors. Damn, that's scary. At least I know that some developers out there, like CCP, for instance, which is the developers of Dust 514, and EVE Online, which EVE Online isn't free to play, but anyway. And PlanetSide 2 is pretty damn good, so is Team Fortress 2. I'm hoping that Capcom's Deep Down will follow along those lines. But now to talk about the clip that's been playing in the background. This is also part of the news. This is a new co-op clip we haven't seen before. It's gameplay of the game. I don't think it's pre-rendered or anything like that. That would be really, really shady. Anyway, some people have been concerned that dragon is just standing in one spot, that it's static. It's not going to move in the game. Well, if you think back to the first time we saw Deep Down and that dragon was crashing, you know, through these walls, chasing after the night guy, well, that was all pre-rendered, I'm fairly sure. However, that is the original design of the game, so I figure that before the game's released, that dragon's going to be a hell of a lot more dynamic. What we don't know is if that dragon is going to be scriptedly dynamic, kind of like Battlefield 4, and when sometimes either a battleship can crash onto land or a tower can topple. It's not going to be different every time. It's going to have, let's say, 5 different ways it can play out through different events that can be triggered. And this being a free-to-play, almost MMO type thing, either you're going to be guiding the dragon, or the dragon's going to be guiding you. And I hope it's the dragon that's going to be guiding you personally, because that would kind of, shift off the limited, dynamic, scripted events. I mean, you can tell some gameplay from this, but gameplay aside, whatever that's going to be like when we actually got our hands on the game, those graphics are fucking amazing. I really hope that they stay this beautiful. I mean, some of it actually looks real. Unfortunately, a lot of that's hidden by the odd, weird little camera system. Sometimes I can't see behind or past the characters behind, the characters back. It takes up so much space, but I'm sure that's going to be figured out, it's going to be fixed. I just don't know why it hasn't been fixed yet. I mean, you want everyone to see as much of the video as possible. Now, even though, as again others have stated, I'm going to stay positive on this game so far, and up until its release, we'll see then, but I'm trying to stay positive. Anyway, as others have said, the video makes the gameplay kind of looks sort of dull. Maybe this is the game that feels and is a lot more fun to play than to watch, but the gameplay does look a little simplistic, a little clunky, a little boring, but you know what? A lot of people probably were saying this about Dark Souls or Demon Souls. I forgot one more piece of news. Last piece of news. When the developers were asked, and this is my mistake as I said it in this video, when the developers were asked if this was a PS4 exclusive, they simply said it has not come to the Xbox One yet. And there was no Xbox One version at this time, just a PS4 version. So, and they've also made tweets about it being released in Japan only for the time being, but it's probably going to be released in America. I mean, it's almost certainly going to be released in America, unless it's such a complete flop that it doesn't. And as far as the Xbox One version goes, I'd say it depends how successful this is. If it's really successful, either Sony will start sponsoring it themselves, like they did with Dust 514, or it will move to the Xbox. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this cool news on Capcom's Deep Down. Be sure to subscribe for more news and gameplay in gaming. And like the video if you found it informative or enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Take care.